Okay, we got sound. I'm by myself today. Are we in Am I in focus? I just need to get my notes ready. Are we good? Is it recording? This is where I'm marked, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's recording. What up, everybody? I'm Brian Willis, and welcome to another episode of glovesoffzw. What up, everybody? I'm Brian Willis, and welcome to the very first episode of glovesoffzw in 2024. First things first, we'd like to apologize for our hiatus in the last few month or so. In 2023, certain things needed to be done. And second of all, somebody is obviously missing. He had some commitments, but we couldn't not give you an episode. So I had to run this one on a bit of a solo dolo tip. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, a lot of things happened in 2023. Some things of note. For my video gamers, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming, but in 2025. Sheesh. But that trailer, it made me want to sacrifice a few meals for my family so that I could buy the PlayStation 5 so I could play Grand Theft Auto 6. But rumors are it's going to retail at around $200. They know exactly how popular this game is, so they're probably going to rake in as much money as they possibly can. Might not be 200, but it'll probably not retail in the average price range. I'm pretty sure of that. But we'll see you in 2025. And then maybe I would have started game reviews by then if I have the time. Anyway, let's come back to local and let's come to the current time. 2024, what's been happening? Well, locally, Twitter has been ablaze. Not Twitter, X, by the way. It's now called X. That rebrand is going to take a lot of getting used to. Anyway. So there was a heated debate on X between one Melusi Chiripowako, aka Rayvines, versus Solomon Harudzibwi. Dude, I'm sorry if I'm screwing up your name there. So anyway, a lot of people know the tweets that went round where Rayvines made insulted Solo. Based on his albinism. In case you didn't know, Solo suffers from albinism. And Rayvines used that in an insult during their back and forth. And a lot of people went at Rayvines because of this. And truth be told, I understand why people are mad. That was a bit... It was a low blow. Yes, it was. I do agree it was a low blow. But I just thought I'd just put this whole debacle into context. So it all started when Rayvines dissed Winky D. I mean, the moment you diss Winky D, already we know that... See, that's the problem of doing these things in neighborhoods. People selling stuff outside. But anyway, where was I? I just wanted to give you a bit of context. And is he done? Anyway, so Rayvines insulted Winky D. And like I was saying, we already know the moment you start insulting Winky D, you don't, and you can tell from the tone that somebody insults a certain artist. You can tell that they're not really trying to get knowledge or trying to get their minds changed or anything. He's just insulting. He was saying stuff like Winky D is gone, he's finished and blah. I do not agree, by the way, especially after that recent launch from New Year's Eve up until New Year at HICC. HICC is now proving to be too small for the guy. I think dude is iconic. I mean, he's a good artist. I'm not going to say whether he's better than Ja Praise or not, because we can love both of them. It's allowed. I mean, just because one is good doesn't mean the other's bad. I like both of them, because neither of them do my genre. But no. I do like a lot of both of them's music. Anyway, Rayvines disses Winky D. And, he says it in a tone that's, quite insulting. And Solo decided to hit back and said something along the lines of, yeah, dude, the ruling party is not going to give you any money. Because he made it seem like, Rayvines is trying to smooch the behind of the ruling party so that he can get a little bit of that money, which is what Solo was saying. You're not getting, dude. And Rayvines responded by saying, who said that's what I want? And he put some rude word there. I'm not going to say it. It's just too vulgar. And Solo Dolo doubled down and said, dude, no matter what you say, the ruling party is not going to give you any money, blah, blah, blah. Just stick to your dry jokes and blah. Basically, Solo Dolo was insulting Rayvines back, right? That's when Rayvines hit back with an insult referring to his albinism, because people with albinism can't stay in the sun for too long. So I'm not going to repeat the insult, but y'all saw what the insult was. And a lot of people were saying that, Rayvines, that was uncalled for, that was not cool, and blah, 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 which is very true. What Rayvines did was a little bit overboard, in the sense that, people's, I don't know if I can call it a disability, but people's disabilities are a very sensitive subject to a lot of people. And I would never insult somebody using that, even if they insulted me. Well, it depends on what they insult me about, because this is where I'm gonna... Oh, shut up. This is where I'm going to play a little bit of a devil's advocate here. I mean, to what extent do we tell somebody that this is overboard or they should take it in a certain way? Because maybe that insult about Rayvines' jokes being insulting, being boring and whatnot, hurt him, and he just looked for a way to hurt back. Because look, the thing is, you give negative energy, you're gonna get negative energy back. I'm not saying that Rayvines, what he did was right. I think they were both wrong, is what I'm saying. Of course, Rayvines went way overboard, but I don't like the way people are totally omitting the fact that Rayvines didn't start this directly. Solo did. I don't know, man, because, like, if you're going to be insulting people about certain things, just know that people are going to look for where they can hit you where it hurts the most. That's what people are about. Some people are not about throwing light jabs and stuff like that. So it's always good to that's why the advice is always be nice to people. Just be nice to one another. There was no need for Solo to take up Winky D's fight. Winky D just stays quiet. Yeah? Now he got insulted about his, his albinism, and yeah, a lot of people look, I agree with people. Like I said, I agree with people. He shouldn't have used the albinism and whatnot, but we also need to address the energies that you throw at people and the energies that you get back. Had he not engaged Rayvines, I don't think Rayvines would have said that. That's pretty much my standpoint in all of this. Of course, Rayvines was wrong, yes, but Rayvines wouldn't have been wrong if Solo wasn't wrong first. And also, when you got a weak spot, you need to be careful how you speak to certain people, especially people with a certain desperation for attention. Yeah? Because, like, take for example me. I know that people are going to diss me for my teeth if I talk a lot of smack. They're going to diss my teeth. I know that. I know that for a fact. But I know Rayvines can't diss me about my teeth because his teeth ain't that different from mine. So, whoo, do I really want to go down that road? But anyway, so the insults about the ruling party, they made me get a bit curious. So I decided to do a bit of digging. And on Rayvines' Twitter account, you don't even need to dig that much, huh? It's his pinned tweet is him asking for assistance from the president of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Idi Mnangagwa, yes, to all you people out there, it's Idi Mnangagwa, okay? So all you other journalists that say his name funny, we hear you, and that's not how you say it. Practice, please. He was asking for assistance because basically he wants to start some sort of school or something like that, and he's asking for assistance from the ruling party, which is the one that His Excellency is the president of. Yeah? I found that very funny. But what I found even funnier was somebody dug up Rayvines' old tweets where he was insulting the very same ruling party that he needs assistance from. Yeah. I'll let that sink in a little bit. I'll let that sink in. So, moving on to the next topic, and it's the topic that has been blowing up the internet internationally. Everyone is talking about it. If you're not, then I don't know what rock you're living under. And that is Katt Williams. Katt Williams is a stand-up comedian, one of the OGs, one of the greatest. I'd rank him top 2, because top 3. I'll put him as, Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy. There's Dave Chappelle. Katt Williams. Okay, he's top 4. In fact, he's top 4, but not even in that order, because, Trevor Noah. So now put Katt Williams above Trevor Noah. Hey, that's a tricky one. He's top 4. He's top 4. Yeah, he's definitely top 4. And he recently went on the Club Shay podcast hosted by Shannon Sharpay. He used to play football, if I'm not mistaken. And dude went there wanting to set 2024 ablaze. And when I say he went there wanting to set 2024 ablaze, he was talking about every other stand-up comedian who he deems not funny or fake or just downright, who basically did a lot of things to get famous. He went at everyone. I'm talking Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, Faison Love. He went after a lot of people, like Cedric the Entertainer. On Cedric the Entertainer, he says that Cedric the Entertainer was supposed to be a singer, dancer, and tell jokes, but he couldn't sing, he couldn't dance, and he never wrote any of his jokes. And the thing is, he accused a lot of these stand-up comedians for being fake and stuff, but he backed it up, because with Cedric the Entertainer, he said that Cedric stole one of his jokes. It was one of his jokes where he did this driving a car thing and whatnot, and people went and dug up Katt Williams' joke and Cedric the Entertainer's joke. And to be honest, the similarities there are a little bit too much for it to be a coincidence. And Cedric the Entertainer came back and said that he never stole anything, and he's also had jokes stolen before. He went at Kevin Hart, and he recently just challenged Kevin Hart to a basketball game, and he also put up $5 million in cash to go to a venue and either make it a boxing match, a basketball match, or stand-up comedy, and winner takes all. And this is something, at the time of this recording, this is something that just happened either today or yesterday. It was that recent, it was that fresh. And Aish, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every single one of those people that he dissed, their responses, he dissed Blackson as well, and said that Blackson is an African, an original African with a fake African accent. And truth be told, every African who heard that was like, I knew something bothered me about Blackson. That's exactly it. And for real, because Blackson is actually a real African, but I don't know why he speaks like that. Like, I'm African. I don't speak like that. If that's the accent, it's not his. It's definitely not his original accent. And Blackson came at him on some. It was just some, character assassination tip. Didn't address the actual issue. And then he went at Steve Harvey and said Steve Harvey has always been fake. That hairstyle that he always had back in the day during the Steve Harvey show was fake. Like, I always thought that his teeth were a bit too exaggerated, Steve Harvey, and the mustache, but the hair I never really thought about it. And I don't think Steve Harvey responded yet. But another person who responded who was actually shocked about was Ludacris. He responded with a freestyle, dissing Katt Williams. And Katt Williams went to Ludacris talking about how both of them were offered a 20 movie, a role involving 20 movies at something like 20 million each, something like that. But the conditions were they would actually have to get bald, and he referred it to as, I'm not going to say it, as, can I say cunnilingus on YouTube? Okay, he didn't refer to it as that, but, they had to, like, suck someone off. And he refused. And how many Fast and Furious movies are there, by the way? Maybe that's probably why Ja Rule didn't make it to the rest of the movies, because he refused that deal. I don't know. But Ludacris's freestyle was, to be honest, what Shannon needs to do, in all honesty, for our benefit, is call each and every one of those stand-up comedians or actors or whatever, and get them to speak their part. We want them to speak on their part and say Katt Williams was lying about this, and that, and give proof. Because none of them seem to be denying what he's saying. That's the scary part. None of them seem to be denying anything that he's saying. That's kind of like scary, because all they're doing is going at him on some character assassination tip. He also went at all the black comedians that dressed as a woman to gain fame. It was some sort of humiliation ritual. He went at Tyler Perry, Kevin Hart. But the funny thing is, on all the guys that he spoke of who had to dress as women, he did not mention Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy has dressed as a woman. Are you saying Eddie Murphy also? Because I don't remember hearing Eddie Murphy being mentioned. Maybe he did, because I slipped through part of the podcast. It's 2 hours, almost 3 hours long, guys. It's like a Zack Snyder movie. It's long. So maybe I didn't hear him when he spoke about Eddie Murphy, but I really want to hear if he hasn't, because Eddie Murphy has dressed as a woman. And also Eddie Murphy, if I'm not mistaken, is married to, Eddie Murphy's marriage history is a bit tricky, but he was married to a white lady who looks similar to the woman that Katt Williams spoke about, because he was like, all these guys are married to similar women, but he never mentioned Eddie Murphy. And also another guy who's been saying this was Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin, yeah. He also said something similar to what Katt Williams was saying. And I really want to hear a part of this where the guys on the other side on the receiving end of Katt Williams's rant, where they speak their truth, their version, without insulting him. But you get what I'm saying? Telling their version so that we can, we can look things up and find the evidence. That's what I would like to see. But it scares me, guys, because this really shows you how scary Hollywood is. Because This is now stand-up comedy. We've had Taraji talking about her being not blackballed, but underpaid by Oprah, Harpo, and Tyler Perry, if I'm not mistaken. There's a whole thing that's going on in Hollywood where people are saying pretty much the same thing about rituals and some people being blackballed because they're not doing certain things. So you get to wonder which of those certain things are we talking about. This leads me to our next story, which is Jonthan Majors was found guilty on, was it 2 charges of I'm not going to say what the charges were because I'm going to lie, but I'll put them there. These were the charges. And to be honest, the videos that were used against him, I think it's just Jonthan Majors deciding to not do whatever he was being told to do behind the scenes. And it could involve something like sucking someone off. I don't know. I don't know anymore with this Hollywood thing, because we also have Will Smith and Dwayne Martin being accused of, boinking and stuff. Hollywood is dark, guys. All we see is the glitz and the glamour, but do we really want to be involved? I think there are way too many people who are saying the same thing for us to just think that it's just rumor. Some investigation has to be done. But obviously, Hollywood is a powerful machine. The small people that try and investigate will be thwarted. I'm sorry, Hollywood, don't thwart me. Jonthan Majors got fired. He got dropped from Marvel. This greatly affects the Kang storyline. In fact, the next Avengers was going to be called Avengers the Kang Dynasty. It's now been changed to Avengers 5. So this could mean they are changing the storyline. If they're changing the storyline, then the probable person they're going to put in the story is Doctor Doom from Fantastic Four, which will be a great way to introduce the Fantastic Four, even though we saw them on Doctor Strange on some other planet, another variation of them. But then, I think they've invested too much for them to change the whole storyline. I think they need to recast. And the person that somebody made me laugh, and they said that they should put Denzel Washington as Kang. And I was like, Denzel is not going to act in that role. Denzel is always acting. If it's not drama, Denzel is not in it. If it doesn't have enough drama, Denzel's not in it. And I don't think these sci-fi movies have enough drama to entice Denzel. That's what I thought. Yeah? Till somebody posted this picture. And I was like, he can do it. He can pull it off. But truth be told, I don't see Denzel doing the role. So the other person that they considered was John Boyega, but he flat out refused, and I really don't blame him. I think he was a bit busy, he had a lot of other things to do. But then the next person that they considered, Damson Idris. Hearing that they're seriously considering Damson Idris as the replacement for Kang. And I think it would work. If you've seen him on Snowfall, you'll see that he can play pretty much all those roles. Because I felt like that role needed somebody who can, be funny, be clumsy, be serious, be menacing. It needs somebody who can, be multiple characters at the same time. So that's my take, man. That's my take on this. And moving on to music, track of the week. So song of the week today is going to be a bit special in the sense that it's 3 songs, but it's 1 song at the same time. Yeah, it's the song Gore by 216 Whiskey featuring Mr. Attention. Beautiful, beautiful hook. Beautiful, beautiful instrumental. Subpar video, terrible verses. The verses were terrible and subpar. I feel like the hook did most of the work and the instrumental. The verses felt like they were anchoring the song down a little bit, but it was a good enough song to seal off 2023. In fact, the song was so good that a remix was done almost immediately after, and I feel like the remix came in a bit too soon. I think we should have given the original a bit more time. Yes, even with the whack verses, I think we should have given the original a bit more time. But the remix came in with Volts JT, Pop 10, K Chaps, Holy 10, Kiki Badass, Shone, and Master H. It was a monster of a remix. Kudos to everyone who featured on the track, and 21-6 Whiskey was much better on his part. But again, I felt like the video was a bit rushed location wise, because if you notice the way they did Kiki's part was just, it was just extra with the shots. I mean, where she was, her location, and I like the way she backed up the hook as well. K-Chap's location was also quite dope, and K-Chaps is proving to be quite a beast in these verses, because he's actually threatening that in 2024 these rappers are going to be on his menu. So I think we're getting a rap album from K-Chaps. And then another location that was good was Volts JT on the BMW, you know, rapping while it's cruising and stuff at night. That was quite dope. In fact, everyone did well on that remix. And then there's a third part now. There's another remix, but this one is just a verse. And this verse came from Michael Maggs. And Michael Maggs used to be on Holy Ten's Samanyanga Sounds bandwagon, but they had some back and forths. They're now beefing. Hence, this whole entire verse is Michael Maggs dissing Holy Ten. Still a fire verse though, but I hope these guys, they solve their beef very soon, because, you know, I really don't like it when disses start ending up, you know, involving people's girlfriends and wives, and this is wives and baby mamas and stuff. I don't think that's cool, but it was a nice verse. Michael Maggs has got a serious potential. So that's it for today's song of the week. Three-way. It was a three-way. 3 songs on Song of the Week. I'm Brian Willis, and like I said, if you got any ads that you'd like, email us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at glovesoffzw. T-shirts, $15 a pop. I'm Brian Willis, no relation to Bruce, and here's to a prosperous 2024. I'm out.